Okay, are we live? Let's check. Let's check. It says that may get some. Hi, it says that I may get some buffering. So we're going to check and see if this is working. Let me know in the comments if you can see me and if this is working. Um, Hi, Ghetto Style with EJ. EJ, let me know if you can hear me, if the sound is good. Let me check right quick. Hi. You guys let me know in the comments if you can hear me. I just want to check because last time I went a long time and nobody could hear me. Let's see. Okay, let's see if I can hear myself. Okay, looks like sound is okay. All right. Hi everyone, I'm Angelina with Blueprint DIY, where we remake our clothes to be just as unique as us. Today I am very excited because I am going to turn all of you guys into upcycling pros. Yes, you upcycling pros, as long as you have the desire to upcycle. You guys keep letting me know whether you can hear me, and if it starts to buffer, you guys let me know. All right. So, yes, I am going to turn you guys into upcycling pros. Check the description box because I have all the outline for what we're going to talk about and some links to videos that will help you along the process. The purpose of this is to give you like my whole process, everything that I go through on each and every upcycle, something that you can repeat over and over again to create awesome and amazing upcycles every time. So check the description box, get a paper and pencil, pen, get ready to take notes because we are going to take off. Hi, I have somebody, Vivian from Alabama, and everybody says the sound is fine. So thank you guys so much. All right. So, and feel free to comment. I'm going to be asking questions throughout this process, and you can comment and let me know, where you are because we're all different. All of our levels of skill are different, and the answers to these questions are going to be very different. So, you guys let me know in the comments. So, and also, if you have any questions, let me know in the comments. So, first, Upcycling 101, and I forgot to do my little intro. This is Blueprint DIY. Upcycling 101, the Renegade method. Yes, this is, like I said, everything that I go through when I am upcycling. And the first thing that you are going to think about is you're going to be true to yourself. What is your level of skill, your strengths, weaknesses, and desire? I know that a lot of you have told me on this channel that you do not desire to upcycle. You just watch me because you think that it's entertaining, and I'm perfectly fine with that. But for those of you who do desire to upcycle, even within your desire to upcycle, there may be things that you do and do not like to do. So the first thing we're going to do is establish our level of skill. So that means, what can you do? What are you good at? So are you a crafty person that, you're good at the studs and the patches and the fabric glue and cutting t-shirts and ironing things? If that's your level of skill, then you're going to, it's not that you can't stretch out and get better at other things, but those are going to be the area where you shine in upcycling. And then on the other hand, if you are good at hand sewing, like I knew somebody who told me, one of my church members said that she made curtains with just hand stitching. Like, kudos to you, because my patience is not there as far as hand stitching. And I've said it several times on my channel. Whenever I have to hand stitch, I'm like, y'all, I'm doing it for y'all because the hand stitching is not necessarily my thing. So, if that's your thing, then kudos to you, because some people would rather hand stitch than sew in a sewing machine. And then some people are into the light sewing, altering clothes, taking in, hemming pants and different things like that. Anything that involves like a straight stitch on a sewing machine, they can do that well. And then some people are more advanced. They know how to make full garments with patterns, or maybe not patterns in my case. But you know how to do most things that involves a sewing machine. So you want to establish what you can do. So somebody says, I buy things to upcycle and get nervous when it's time to begin. We are going to talk about that. A lot of you have told me that, and we are going to talk about that. And actually, that is something that I'm going to get really, really in depth about in my membership. We have our Becoming a Renegade membership. So if you're interested in that, hit that join button. We have a live feed coming up that we're really going to get in depth with that. But we're going to talk about it more today. So the next thing you're going to ask yourself is, what do I struggle with? Because I think that a lot of people, they fool themselves, and I do it to myself too. You fool yourself saying, I'm going to do this big project, and part of that project involves something that you're not good with. And so because you're not good at that thing, you put the project off and it just sits someplace and you never do it. So I think that you'll want to know what you struggle with. So some people have told me they do not like anything with straight lines, like anything with straight lines. For you, something like this with this hat that I just did, put the sequence on the hat. It's random. There, you could do it random. You don't have to do anything in a straight line. So for you, if you don't like straight lines, don't stay in the lines. You march to be your own drummer. Do that. That's your strength. And then some people just don't own a sewing machine. They may know how to use it, but they don't own one and don't have access to one. Then some people don't have access to crafting materials, or you don't have access to a cheap thrift store. I know a lot of you have told me that. And in that case, I would, look in your own closet or ask your friends for their old clothes. When people started to find out that I remake clothes, people just started offering me their old clothes, because most people don't like to throw clothes away. They do it just because they don't know another option. I think more now people are realizing that they can donate their clothes, but they will give you their old clothes. Trust me, I've had to turn down plenty because I don't want to be on Hoarders. You guys know that I try not to fill up my space, but I have actually, right behind this camera, I have 6 bags of kids' clothes that I am donating. So we recently cleaned out the kids' clothes, and it's a lot. It is a lot. Okay. I'm going to try to be more still. I don't know if I can, but I'm going to try. I hope it's not too glitchy. Yeah, I hope it's not too glitchy. But at any rate, so, and then some people don't like buttonholes. Like for me, I do not like doing buttonholes, and you guys don't see me doing a whole lot of buttonholes on this channel. It's just not something I like to do. I know how to do it. It's not my favorite thing to do. Buttonholes and collars, not my thing. So I tend to stay away from those, because if I involve those in a project, I'll likely put the project to the side, and it'll take me a long time to do those. Thank you, Flynn. She said the bucket bag was her absolute favorite. So the next thing is what do you like to do and what do you not like to do? And I talked about that as far as the buttonholes for myself, but I also hate using patterns. Like I really do not like using patterns. And so that's kind of where the Renegade method came from, is that I just don't like using patterns. And so I like flying by the seat of my pants. I like just winging it. And I know a lot of you don't necessarily like that. If you don't like that, if you like using patterns, use patterns, do what makes you comfortable, because that's what's going to get those projects done. And they're going to be amazing because you're doing you. So, moving on to the next section. Next, you're going to either go to the thrift store or raid your own closet or a friend's closet looking for things. Oh, wow. We got our very first super chat. That's awesome. Thank you so much, Fire Soldier. Yeah, that's amazing. Um, Thank you. I forgot what I was saying. You're gonna go to the thrift store or go to your closet, a friend's closet, and you're going to look for things that speak to you. You know that inner voice when you see something and you're just like, even if you don't like the way it fits, you don't like even the garment, period. Look for things that speak to you. I'm gonna show you guys something. Hopefully, me getting up doesn't mess it up too much. But I'm going to show you guys this that I have for the spring. And it's just like a really big dress. It's got like an extra scarf on the side. It's actually a two-piece down here. And I got it because I really like the fabric. I like the fabric on it. And when I saw it, I like, and this is a lot of fabric. The sky's the limit with what I can make, for that. So I got it. Do I know what I'm gonna do with it yet? No, but I got it. And if I hadn't have gotten it, I think I would have regretted it. So, things like that. And so those things fall under, you're going to find things that you love, but they don't fit properly. So an example of that is the men's blazer that I did. The men's blazer that I did. This is a man's blazer. However, I took it in to fit me. That you're gonna find plenty of things like that. Some are more complicated. Some are a little bit more simple. But you'll find that different things. Then the next thing is things that you love, but they need some tweaking. So this is an example. These used to be pants, but I made them into shorts. So I really, really like this like gray pinstripe, but they weren't working for me as pants, like really weren't working for me as pants, but they're amazing as shorts. So things like that, things that you love it, there's something about it that you love, but it just needs a little tweaking. And then if you're just learning how to sew, how would you begin? I would begin with straight stitches. So like I said, if you're a beginner sewer, I would do anything that only involved just taking your sewing machine and making a straight stitch. So like for instance, I did these actually with hand stitch, but if I were going to do this with a straight stitch, I would just fold it under it. I would put it in the sewing machine and it would just be one straight stitch around the edge. So I would focus on projects that you only have to go forward, maybe a little backward, at the end of your stitches. But I would focus on projects like that. And actually, I would say the good majority of my projects focus on straight stitches. Now, like the thinking of it may be a little bit more advanced, but as far as the actual sewing machine, it's a lot of straight stitching. So that's what I will focus on. Projects that you just have to go in a straight line. Okay, so, and then the next thing is, like I showed you that red dress, is things that you love, the fabric, the color, or the texture of it, but you absolutely don't like the garment, and you think it should be completely made into something else. So you're basically just using it. Hi, Michelle. You're basically just buying it for the fabric. So once you have found the things that you're looking for or something that inspires you, and actually I'll go back, but you can also see things, you get an inspiration for something first, and then you can go to the thrift store or in your closet looking for something. But and then you can also find something first and then go back and look for inspiration later, but we'll talk about that in a second. But the next thing you want to do is wash it properly. You definitely want to wash it properly. If you're doing any type of deconstruction inside the seams of that garment, there's going to be dust trapped there. And if you try to, even the clothes in your closet, you before you start taking something apart, you want it freshly washed, because once you start opening up those seams, it's going to open up a lot of dust in the air. And I'm personally allergic to dust, but even if you're not allergic to dust, it can get quite bad. But I do have a video, it's linked in the description box, about how I wash all my thrifted clothes. It includes things that I just throw in the washing machine, dry clean things, how I dry clean at home, as well as shoes. So definitely check that video out if you are interested in how to wash thrifted clothes, or just how to wash things before you upcycle them so you don't get caught by the dust. And now that we have everything clean, we need inspiration. And I know that a lot of people, this is where they stop. They get something, they like, this could be something so amazing, but I don't know what. So how do you get inspiration? I hope that Blueprint DIY is a good source of inspiration for you guys. But I want to show you how I get my inspiration. And one of the greatest things I do to get inspiration, if I can get my mouse to work, one of the greatest things I do to get my inspiration is on Pinterest. And this is actually my Pinterest feed. I hope you guys are seeing that right now. This is what my fashion feed on Pinterest looks like. And you can see some of the direct, inspiration of the things that I have been working on. Like the two-tone, I forgot I had that. I want to do that. And I already have what I need to do it. Anyway, the two-tone coats, the different things. I have a purse, this one right here, that I want to do. In a second, I'll show you that purse that I want to put the white stripe down. I just want to do something simple. And I saw this on Pinterest and I'm like, that's exactly what I'm going to do. Just different things. You can see the direct inspiration, how they have inspired me. This Zara coat, I just want that coat. But anyway, yeah, this dress is really pretty. So you can see how these things have directly inspired me. And so, this is the purse that I want to do just the white stripe. It's just, a little purse, and I just thought it needed something. And so when I saw that white stripe on that purse, I was like, that's so simple, but that's exactly what it needed. So I was excited to find that. And sorry, I'm looking at the comments. I don't want to miss you guys' comments. So the next place that I look for inspiration is Instagram and other social media sites. I follow a lot of the fashionistas, the fashion gurus, fashion bloggers, what have you. And I also follow stores like And Other Stories and Net-a-Porter and Mr. Self Portrait, different sites like that, Zara, because I don't go retail shopping a whole lot. So I follow them on their Instagram feeds, and sometimes I look at their website to see what's new in store, what's going on out in the world that I don't go a lot to see, so that I can find inspiration for things that I am doing. And I also, like on TV, like don't tell me you haven't looked at shows like Empire and different things like that, or any of these shows, and like, I have to have that, and you think to yourself, I really, really want to figure out a way to make that. And so TVs can be a really good source of inspiration. Okay, so what about, and I have my notes down here, that's why I keep looking down. What about internal inspiration? You know, as you grow as a designer, you don't want to always, or at least I don't always want to get my inspiration externally. Sometimes I want to figure out, like, you know, what can I come up with on my own? And so this is how I find internal inspiration. I look at a garment. So this is in the case of me finding the garment first. So I've been to the thrift store, I've shopped in my closet, and I have the garment in front of me. So I look at the garment and I ask myself, what if first, what if I subtract something? So like in this case, what if I subtract the a portion of the legs? Okay? So I subtract, you know, the legs. I could cut off sleeves. I have an example of a shirt that I cut off the sleeve. No, nope, 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 nope. Where'd it go? Like this. This was a t-shirt that it's like a Ralph Lauren t-shirt. And I really like the tie-up detail, but it was one, too big for me, and two, it had sleeves. I just wanted a sleeveless tie-up shirt, so I just cut off the sleeves. Another thing that you could do is make a dress shorter or a skirt. I have this denim skirt. It was a long denim skirt, and I just cut it off and distressed it. So many things can be done by simple subtraction. Then what if, you know, like cropped shirts, like cropped t-shirts? For this one, I just cut a V in the front. The neck was bothering me. Up here was too tight. Just cut a simple V. And those are things that, especially for beginners, think about subtraction. What can I take away that is going to make this garment better? And then you can also, the next thing you're going to ask yourself after you figured out what you want to subtract, what can I add? And that could be paint, that could be dye, that could be patches, that could be sequins, that could be buttons, that could be straps or other accents or other pieces of garments, like the red coat that I did a couple of weeks ago. Let me get the red coat. So I first subtracted the whole back panel and then added pants and some straps and some other things to it. So it's just simple addition and subtraction. Easy peasy. When you think about it like that, it's going to give you a different result every time, but it's the same thought process. So look at the garment. What can I subtract? What can I add? What can I subtract? What can I add? And you do that over and over again, and you just begin to get really good at it. And the things, you know, your thought processes, your creativity starts to flow better. Okay, so then the next thing, let me see. Any any movies or clothing stores in particular. Oh, they were talking to somebody else. Okay, so the next thing you're going to ask yourself is, what if I transform it? So this one is to look at a garment, like I said, with that red flower material. I don't know what I'm going to make out of it. It's just material. It's just fabric to me at this point. So what am I going to, completely transform it into? Just because something is one thing doesn't mean it can't be completely something else. So this is a little bit past the addition and subtraction, but this is about transformation. So for instance, I have these, and the link is in the description box for this video because it's a really old one. But this used to be like one of those like old lady house dresses. And I made them into these blue gauchos with the split on the side. And the reason they have a split on the side is because the dress had a split. And it just really worked out. So it's not like way different than what it was. But it was basically just fabric to me at that point. And I remade it completely into pants. So think about things like that when you have something that's just a lot of fabric. This can be anything. What can I make it into? And I find those projects a little bit harder, but I do get like amazing results. For instance, this one, I don't know what this is. Like, I don't really know what to call this. I call it a bustier, but it's a tank top, it's a vest, it's all kind of stuff. And these are the things that you can come up with when you look at something and say, don't look at it for what it is. Think about what it could be. So, and those projects do take courage. They take just some cutting and just saying, screw it, if I mess it up, so what, but that's when the really amazing things happen. And we're going to talk more about that in a little bit. Okay, so the next thing you're going to do, once you figure out what you're going to do, you're going to write it down. I know not all of us have been to fashion school. We don't sketch people well. I don't sketch people well. I went to architecture school. I sketch buildings well, but I do not sketch people well. So my sketches probably look more like buildings than they do clothes. But I still write it down, and I also take notes and ask myself, what else do I need for this project in order to get it done? Do I need zippers, buttons, ribbon, hardware, thread, paint, etc.? What else do I need for this project? So an example of this is some of my sketching. It's not amazing, but I know what it is, and as long as I know what it is, then that's all that matters, because these are not for the world. And this is actually the sketch I did for, and it's probably not very clear. It doesn't look like it's very clear. But this is a sketch I did for that windbreaker jacket. That makes absolutely no sense, like to anybody else other than me. But it's for me. So I have some notes on the side. I have, a general sketch of the process of what I'm going to try to do. And for me, that's a lot of times what it is. It's the process. It's like, okay, I'm trying to get in my head. What do I do first? What do I do next? And just wrap my head around the whole process. So that's why you definitely want to write it down. Then the next thing you're going to do is you're going to want to make sure that you try things on. Put it on your body. This is that sweater dress. I'm sorry for all the legs, but I promise you it's not even close to my privates. My legs are that long. But you want to try things on and put them on your body as well you can, to get your mind to say, like, to commit to that. And so for this project, I put everything on. It's like, okay, am I okay with the direction that I'm going? Because it's going to give you that much more courage when you start cutting stuff up. And it gives you confidence, like, okay, I've made up my mind. This is what I'm going to do. It's going to be awesome. I'm okay with it. So, you can do that. I don't know what's up with my mouse today. Just won't work. And of course, that one was the sweater dress. And so you can also lay things out. Like for the pink jacket that I did, I laid everything out on the floor. I couldn't necessarily, before I started cutting, I couldn't necessarily put it on my body. Although I did cut the hole in the pants and put it over me to see what I wanted to do. But then as I'm going along, I'm also putting it on as well. So you want to try to imagine what it's going to look like when it's done. It's hard, I understand, but you want to try to imagine what it's going to look like. And you want to commit to a direction, but be flexible. And like I said, We're going to talk more about this in our Monday live feed with the Becoming a Renegade squad. So definitely, if you want to be a member, definitely join. But you have to commit to it. Get those scissors. And hi from Pennsylvania. Cool. You have to commit to it. You have to get those scissors and start cutting. Um, Otherwise, you'll never do it. And I know a lot of people get stuck at this point because they don't want to mess up. But I think about it like this: I'm really only remaking clothes that I'm not going to wear. And 9 times out of 10, most people wouldn't wear these clothes. Of course, to each his own, like somebody, what I don't like, somebody else will. But a lot of the things that I'm remaking are pretty much trash. And so, and especially if I got it out of my own closet, I'm not going to donate something that I could remake for myself. So I think it just needs to be a little bit of a mind shift. Of course, yeah, you don't want to just be cutting up things and throw them in the trash, but you'll never get better if you don't start like that. And so you have to give yourself a pass, especially at the very beginning, with cutting clothes. So get an old t-shirt, the ones with the stains all underneath the arms, probably ripped up. Start cutting that. And if you mess up, so what? You were probably going to use that as a dust rag anyway. So, you have to take that leap. You're going to have to, and just start with something that's trash. Just get it into your mind. It's trash. All I'm doing is helping it along. And take that leap and start cutting and start deconstructing. And that's our next step. We have to deconstruct. We have to take things apart. Not every project is taking things apart. Some, if you're going to paint it, you don't have to take anything apart, but you do have to put that put that paintbrush on, on the garment. And it's a leap of faith. It is, you're going to have to get over it and try it. And you may not like it. So, like for me, when I'm deconstructing something, we're in the deconstruction part, or the beginning part when you're taking that leap of faith. For me, I do my best to be patient with myself, be patient with the garment, and to be careful. But you have to be willing to fail. And that's almost with anything. You have to be willing to fail. But the good thing about upcycling, especially the way I do it, is that failing is not necessarily a bad thing. Because like even when you fail, go back to the inspiration part, think about it, and you could probably still turn it into something else. So like for instance, with this jacket, you guys who have been following me since before I made this, you know that it took me about a month to do this jacket, because I'm sorry for all the belly button, which is why this clip didn't make it all the way into the final video. But I'm basically saying on this clip in the video that this project is going awry, and I love it, but at this point I'm realizing that it's amazing, but it wasn't turning out the way I thought it was going to be, the way I planned. Also, if I left it the way it wasn't going to be as something that I could wear on a daily basis. And I have a lot of things that I do just for YouTube to look amazing, but I put a lot of work into that project, and I wanted it to be something that I could wear. So at that point, I'm like freaking out because I'm doing this for a video, but I don't know which direction to go. And so, you guys who have seen that video, you know that it came out in the end. And as a matter of fact, people still tell me to this day that this is one of their favorite projects. But this project was one of those ones that it failed my original concept, and I had to go and be re-inspired in order to take it to completion. And so since we're talking about this, the last thing you do when you are when you're constructing something, make sure you fit it on your body. Construct, fit, construct, fit, construct, fit. Because one, that's gonna keep you from getting all the way to the end and finding out that you made 10 mistakes, either in your direction or in your direction or in just your construction. So, and if you want to see somebody hot, let me go too long with a mistake. You talking about somebody throwing seam rippers, throwing clothes, it won't get done. It'll get thrown to the side and it won't get done. So personally, I tried on the very beginning, get my imagination wrapped around it. Then I deconstruct, I start to construct it. I get like a few steps in and I put it back on, just like that sleeve. I put it back on my body. Is this sleeve long enough? Is this looking like I want it to look? Because if I go too far, it's not going to get done. So make sure that you partially construct, fit, reconstruct, fit, final construction, and fit it for the last time, just to make sure that it is what you want it to be. And then lastly, just for a bonus, do yourself a favor and take a picture of it before and take a picture of it after. That's just going to make you feel so much better. Somebody says, do I ever use a mannequin? No, because I don't have a mannequin. But I find that because I'm making these things for myself, if I made stuff for other people, having the mannequin would be amazing. And also having the mannequin would be great because sometimes it's hard to pin at my back. But I like to fit things on myself because my body changes so much. I know there are adjustable mannequins that I could get, but I'm like, y'all might not see it, but and like when I say I want my clothes to fit, like that's the reason I'm making stuff for myself, because like I want it to fit me like at that moment. And I have clothes in my closet right now that I've made for the channel and they fit amazing when I made them, but they don't fit anymore. So but anyway, yeah, that's why I always use myself, because I'm fitting them for myself and I want them to fit just like that, which is another reason why I don't like to use patterns, because when I used to use patterns, you would always have to refit things for yourself. So I just bypass that and just do it on me, because it's for me. So yeah, but I don't have a mannequin. My mom has some, but I don't have any. But yeah, take before and after pictures. It's going to help you to feel so much better about yourself and about your projects, and post them. I know, who was it? Delana, I hope I'm saying that right, took a picture of her New Year's top, her sequence top, and she tagged me. So if y'all want to tag me, I'll give you 3 snaps and a yes, honey, on your Instagram, because we all want that affirmation that, yes, you did that, and, just taking a picture, even if you don't share it, keep it to yourself and say, yes, I did that, and it'll help you along to go to the next project. So for 2019, no more projects just sitting around. I'm not saying try to do all of them at once. Don't overwhelm yourself. Get one and start it. And that's our challenge for this year. We're going to get one and start it. We're going to finish it. And then we're going to get another one. We're going to start it and finish it. That's my challenge to you for 2019. I hope this video has been informative. If you guys have any questions, definitely put them in the live chat now so that we can see them. And let me see, so that we can see the chat. Okay, there's nothing coming up. There are comments. But anyway, if you guys have any questions, definitely put them in the chat and I can answer them. Not now, but if I've answered all you guys' questions, I hope that this video has been so informative, and I hope that my Charlie will come now so he can give you guys a live wink for the end of my video. They're supposed to be watching, and he's supposed to come at his appointed time because he wanted to help today. So if the kids are watching, then Charlie, come do your wink now. He might have fallen asleep, but I hope you guys have enjoyed this video. Definitely give this video a like and save it, because this is one that if you have a hard time, go back to it. I'm going to put the time markers in the description box so you don't have to watch the whole thing over again. But if there's a particular part that really helped you, you can go directly to that part by just hitting the time marker in the description box, and it will take you directly to that time that that I said that. So so Denise wants to know, when I do a blue jean project, do you usually rip the inside seam? No. It depends on what part of the jean I'm going to be using. So sometimes I'm just using the actual fabric and I just bypass that because that's a whole heck of a lot of work. When I did that jacket, I didn't rip the seams because I just cut really, really close to the seams. So actually, I very rarely seam rip the seams. So, okay, somebody says they're heading home to redo a blouse. Very, very good. Good luck. And somebody says that they have a hard time with sleeves. Yeah, sleeves can be intimidating. I work with them now a lot more than I used to, but yeah, sleeves can definitely be intimidating. Once you kind of know the shape of a sleeve and you know how it goes, it will get easier, which I should be telling myself that about buttonholes, because buttonholes do not have to be hard. I just avoid them. So maybe that'll be my challenge this year, is doing more buttonholes. So somebody says, do I have any ideas on how to upcycle heels that are a bit beaten up? It would depend on the fabric of the heel. Like, are they patent leather? Are they leather? Because if they're leather, you can definitely do something to them, like real leather. You can clean them with the leather cleaner, and then you can even paint them. If they're yes, pull that sewing machine out, get it started. And you guys definitely, leave comments and let me know how you're doing on your journey. Let's encourage one another as we're going through the year. But about the heels, yeah, it would depend on the fabric. I have a pair of brushed, they're not suede, they're like that fake suede, but they're like a pink, like a dusty pink heel, like a pump that I thrifted. They're a little dirty, so they need to be cleaned. In that video where I show how to dry clean at home, I do work on a pair of shoes that were like faux suede. Now I don't know if they were real suede or faux suede, but showed how to clean those. Yes, pull out those things, those accumulated things, and bring them out. Serger, did you get the 1034D, the Singer, like I have, or did you get a different one? Sergers can be so difficult, but that 1034D or that Singer is amazing because it's not as hard to thread. You can see my old serger back there. That thing was a beast to thread. And then it has started coming undone. And once a serger thread comes undone, I'm done with it. But that 1034 is pretty nice. And those are running like $188 now, which mine was like $400. So, yes, it does cost $5 a month to join the becoming a Renegade club. So, it just kind of helps me to keep, actually, not to keep running, but to get better, do things better on this channel. Okay, it's a Singer Pro finish. So that one, keep your manual. Do not lose your manual for that. um, because that, for me, it's so helpful when it's time to do anything to the machine. And then I would just say, that's the biggest thing for me, is just keeping my manual, because every time I do something to it, like if I want to go from 3 threads to 4 threads, I go to the manual. If I want to thread it, I go to the manual. I just don't use it as much as I probably could or should. But yes, I would keep that manual. If you get good enough where you don't need the manual, then you're doing real good. Um, Ooh, can you do an organize your work area video one day? If I showed you what's going on in the rest of this room, yeah, we need to do that video. We'll, yeah, we can definitely do that. Organize your work area, because it is a mess. It is literally a mess. Um, yeah, it's literally a mess. But I was waiting for Charlie. He's not coming. Let me see if I can get him to come. Charlie! He fell asleep on his part of the video. He begged me to do that part. But I hope you guys have enjoyed this video. Happy New Year's. And sending so much love to everyone who has encouraged me in this journey. And hi to all of our new subscribers. I hope you guys have an excellent year this year. And I'll see you in the next one. Bye.